You grow up in Dayton, Ohio. Your father was a union man at the Delphi plant until the plant closed and the pills opened. He wasn't mean about it, just slow, slower every year. The last time you see him alive, he's in the recliner with the TV on and his eyes aimed somewhere past the ceiling. You're 12. Your mother finds him on a Tuesday morning. Heart stopped in his sleep. The coroner writes it up as cardiac arrest. Everybody in the neighborhood knows what it really was. Your mother works the breakfast shift at a diner and the closing shift at a Dollar General 2 miles away. Comes home at 10 p.m., smelling like fryer grease and floor cleaner. You make her a plate, and she eats standing up, because sitting down means she might not get back up. She's keeping the lights on, barely. You're good at math, not the kind that gets you into college, the kind that keeps a ledger straight in your head, counts change faster than a register, spots when a number's off by 50 cents. Your teachers mention it once, and then move on to the kids with parents who show up to conferences. You run track. You're fast. Nobody comes to the meets. Marcus is your cousin Darius's friend. 32, keeps a neat apartment, drives a Nissan Altima that never has a scratch on it. You've known him since you were 10. He's always got groceries, always got time. When you're 16, he starts letting you hang around during pickups, not to do anything, just to be there. He says you're calm, says most people get loud when they're nervous. You get quiet. He notices. Your mother's insulin costs $340 a month. Her insurance through Dollar General covers $110 of it. The rest is a math problem with no good answer. You watch her skip doses and tell you she's fine. You watch her feet. There's a word for what happens to diabetics who ration insulin. You know the word. Marcus texts you on a Thursday. Says he needs someone to hold a package at your apartment for 2 days. Just hold it. Don't open it. He'll pick it up Sunday. You ask how much. He says $300 for a weekend of doing nothing. $300 is almost what your mother's insulin costs. You say yes. The package smells like nothing. Sealed tight in a gym bag. You put it in your closet and sleep 8 hours. Sunday, Marcus picks it up. Hands you cash folded once. You put it in your sock drawer. Monday, you go to the pharmacy and buy your mother's insulin. She asks where you got the money. You say you did some moving work for a neighbor. She's too tired to press it. You watch her fill the syringe and feel something that isn't quite pride. You tell yourself you just held a bag for a weekend. You tell yourself that's different. Act 2. Rise. Complicity. Entrapment. By spring, you're running packages 3 days a week. The math is simple enough to hate yourself for understanding it. Dayton is ground zero, more overdose deaths per capita than anywhere in America. The drug that killed your father is everywhere. Cheaper now. Stronger. Mixed with something else that makes the margin wider for the people above you and the margin for survival narrower for everyone else. You don't think about that yet. You think about $300, then $500, then $800. Marcus explains the structure calmly, like a manager walking through an org chart. You never see the top. You don't want to. You have a contact above you, a number in a burner phone and territory below you. 12 blocks, 8 corners, 4 runners. You're 17, the runners are 15, 16. One of them, Devin, is 14. His mother's on the same thing you're selling. You see the shape of this clearly. You don't look at it directly. By summer, you're clearing $1,800 a week. You pay your mother's insulin. You pay the back rent. You buy school clothes for your sister Brianna and tell her they're from a program at church. She's 10. She believes you. You add up what you've paid, and it comes to more than your mother makes in 2 months, working both jobs. You tell yourself this is temporary. You tell yourself you're doing what has to be done until something else opens up. The something else never opens up. It never does. Keisha lives on Huffman Avenue. You've known her since 5th grade. She started nursing school at Sinclair Community College in August. Studies at the kitchen table until 1A. M. Carries textbooks in a backpack with a broken zipper held together with a safety pin. She knows what you're doing. She grew up 2 blocks from the same corners. She doesn't ask about it directly. She asks about you. Where are you going? What do you actually want? You tell her you want out. You mean it. She believes you because it's true when you say it. Marcus throws a cookout in August. A rented pavilion in Eastwood Park. Tables full of food. His girlfriend's kids running through the sprinklers. The older guys grilling, arguing about the Bengals. Somebody's got a speaker going. Late afternoon light, through the trees. You're sitting next to Marcus, eating a paper plate full of ribs and watching everyone laugh, and you think, this is what it's supposed to feel like. A room that chose you. People who show up. You hold onto that afternoon like it's a photograph. 6 months later, it feels like a photograph. Everything after it develops wrong. The product you're moving isn't just fentanyl anymore. It's fentanyl pressed into pills that look like Percocet. Counterfeit. Pharmaceutical-looking. Blue. The price point is higher. The margin is wider. Your contact above you, a man named Dante you've met twice in a parking garage, explains this the way an account manager explains a new product line. Same territory, better unit economics. He hands you a new price sheet folded in quarters. You sell them. You tell yourself the people buying them know what they're getting. You know that isn't true. The first time you hear about one of yours in the news, it's a 23-year-old woman from Kettering, college student, found in her car in a Kroger parking lot. Bought from a runner on your corner. You watch the story on your phone. Her mother is in the frame. The anchor says, counterfeit prescription pill. You turn the screen off. You eat dinner. Your hands are steady. You're surprised how steady they are. Marcus gets shot on a Friday night in November. Dispute over territory with a crew from Springfield that had been building for months. He's in the hospital for 9 days. When he comes out, he's slower, quieter, one lung working instead of two. You visit him. He looks at you in a way you can't read. Not angry. Not scared. Tired in a way that goes down to the bone. Dante sends someone to take over Marcus's distribution while he's recovering. Marcus never gets it back. His route gets folded into yours. No conversation, no compensation. Dante tells you Marcus isn't operational and the territory needs coverage. You're good at this. That's why you're still here. That sentence does something to your understanding of what good at this means. You send Marcus money every week. He takes it. You don't talk about what it costs you that he has to. Keisha leaves on a Sunday in February. No screaming. She sits at your kitchen table with her hands folded and tells you what she's seen. Not just what you are, what you're becoming. The way you scan rooms. The way you sleep not fully, one ear open, phone face up on the nightstand. The 3 different phone numbers she's not allowed to have. She says she wants to be a nurse. She says she can't spend her life watching someone die the same way the neighborhood dies slowly, then all at once. She loves who you were. She sees where you're going. She can't stay for the trip. You don't call her after she leaves. That's how much you respect her. You miss her every day. That's how much it costs. Nursing home on Stanley Avenue. You visit every 2 weeks. Bring him fruit. He worked at Frigidaire for 31 years. Has a pension that barely covers the copay for his room. His hands shake. He calls you by your father's name sometimes. One afternoon, he looks at you clearly, not confused, clear. He says, I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. Then he says, your father thought he had more time to change. He was wrong about that. He picks up a peach and starts eating it. That's the whole conversation. You drive home. The thing about accurate statements is they don't give you anywhere to stand. You're 19, managing 12 corners, 4 runners, 1 stash house. Your cut of territory is $8,000 a week on a good week. You rent a house in Trotwood, quiet street. You drive a 10-year-old Honda with new tires, nothing that draws attention. You put $12,000 in cash inside a box spring and keep the rest moving through a detail shop your cousin runs. The DEA sets up a wire in October. You don't know this. Nobody tells you. That's the nature of the thing. Your brain has developed its own operating system. You don't take the same route twice. You change phones every 4 weeks, not the number, just the device. You eat at different restaurants on a rotation. You notice everything. The white Impala that's been in the gas station lot 3 mornings in a row? The new face at the corner store who buys 1 pack of gum and stands by the window. Paranoia is just good planning when the environment actually is trying to kill you. The problem is the software never turns off. You start dreaming in threat assessments. You count what you're carrying one night at the kitchen table, with the door locked and the lights low. 19 months of documented territory. Phone records that are coming. Runners who will talk if they're facing time. 2 guns, both dirty. Cash that can't be explained. Distribution of a Schedule II narcotic. Conspiracy. Under federal sentencing, you did this math before you were old enough to drive. It's not years. It's a decade or more. The patch on your back is invisible. The math isn't. Devin turns 15 in December. The kid you put on lookout when he was 14. He's running his own corners now. You watch him work. His posture, his route timing, The way he counts change in his palm, it's the same as yours at the same age. He's quick. He's calm. He doesn't get loud when he's nervous. You tell him one afternoon, get out before winter. Go back to school. Tell him you can float him 2 months of money to make the gap. You hear yourself talking. You know what it sounds like. It sounds like a man saying, don't make my mistakes while still making them. Devon nods. Respectful. He doesn't leave. He didn't listen. You didn't listen either. The federal sweep comes on a Thursday. Not for you, not yet. 3 of Dante's people picked up in a parking garage in Miamisburg. Within 48 hours, you hear your name is in a phone. One of the runners, you don't know which one, is already talking to a prosecutor in exchange for time reduction. You have a bag in the top shelf of the closet. Fake Ohio ID, $8,400 in cash, a prepaid phone with 1 number in it, the illusion of an exit. You've kept it there for a year. You drive to the gas station on Salem Avenue at 2 in the morning and sit in your car with the engine running. You could leave, drive south, stay in motels for a month, let it cool. The problem is, you've done this arithmetic before. You can put 200 miles between yourself and Dayton. You'll still be in the same car, with the same hands, having sold the same pills. The distance doesn't rewrite the ledger. You're in the car for 40 minutes, then you go home. You call a lawyer in the morning, a real one, the kind you've been setting aside money for without admitting to yourself why. She listens to the outline without flinching. She says, the question is whether you're first or later. First costs less. You go see your mother. She's on the couch watching a show she's seen before. You sit next to her. You don't tell her anything. You watch the show. At one point, she reaches over and puts her hand on your arm without looking away from the screen. Her hand is dry and warm. She falls asleep before the episode ends. You sit there another hour in the dark. You think about your father in the recliner. TV on, eyes aimed at something past the ceiling. You think about the distance between who he was at your age and who he became. You wonder if he knew the distance was closing. You wonder if he thought he had more time to change. You are 20 years old. You have sold enough fentanyl to fund your mother's insulin and your sister's school clothes and your grandfather's fruit and a lawyer who tells you the window is still open, but it will not be open forever. Somewhere on a corner in Dayton right now, a 14-year-old is standing in the cold, watching for patrol cars, counting minutes, calculating what the money will fix. He thinks he's buying time. He's spending it. The drug trade doesn't run on demand. Demand is the ocean. It was here before you, and it'll be here after. The trade runs on the gap between what a family needs and what the economy offers. Every recruit is someone who did the math and found only one door. The fee is your father's life, your own, or both. There's no version where the ledger comes out clean. The story is fiction, but the fentanyl crisis is real, and Dayton is real. And somewhere in that city right now, a kid is doing math that ends one way. If this made you think, drop a comment with what hit you. More deep dives coming. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next one.